You know that in 2025, over 100,000 different jobs completely shut down due to the AI. And I'm not talking about people getting fired. I'm talking about actual businesses shut down because a product or service is no longer in demand. No one is calling placing orders because the AI is getting the job done faster and cheaper. What are these businesses? Well, as you may have guessed, we're talking about graphic design, we're talking about video production, we're talking about marketing, we're talking about advertisements, we're talking about AI video generation replaced all the production lines. You no longer need an actual physical influencers to hold or promote your product. You no longer need somebody to draft a logo or create a special ad or commercial for your product or service. You no longer need anyone to actually come over and create a special strategy, run ads, create retargeting, collect keywords, run different numbers trying to look at the competitors. No, you can do all this using AI. So if no one actually placing order to your company, well, effectively you're out of business, right? Think about everyone who starts the business for the first time. They all do the same thing. They think that everyone could be their client. They want to reach everyone. They want to sell to everyone, and they want to sell cheap, right? Why the mindset of every new business owner is the same? Why 90% of these people fail? The main question is, which are the next businesses on the line this year that will most likely file for bankruptcy and completely disappear? Look, we're not just talking about the weakest players of the industry. We're talking about every player in the industry essentially is closing, over 100,000 in some of these particular niches in 2025, because the niche is kind of disappearing, right? It's in a way in which we had the cars replacing the carriages, right? Completely erased anyone involved in carriages. The production of carriages in the business completely plummeted. Then we have the internet came in, completely erased all the radio and other stuff, sources of information. Then we got the TV, then we got the phone, etc. Right? This is how when something completely new comes along, it's not just taking all the weak hands and the weak business providers off the market. It takes the whole niche off the market, creates a completely new niche where it either going to be couple of new services merged together, offered as one service, which could be, now let's say you run an AI agency, you can offer video production, you can create content marketing, you can create an advertisement campaign, you can create the full blown house where people can order absolutely everything for promotion and design of their personal brand and their products and services that they're offering. It no longer has to go to 5 different companies to get job done. The second option, if that's not going to happen, it will be extremely niched and specialized firms. Let's say somebody has a video generation tool that they built for themselves in-house. In this video generation tool, it's trained on data only on sport ads from the past. So basically there is a special niche down agency that only produces commercials, ads and marketing campaigns for only sporting goods or sport drinks or anything related to sport. This is very helpful because having your own personal chatbot trained on your own personal data, it gives you precise outputs, which, as you know, the better the outputs, the better the prompts. First of all, it's more cost efficient because you will use less tokens, which basically means that you have higher profit margin because everything that remains will be simply profit from you from the actual generation cost. These are the two parallels I see that will come on the surface. And if you look, like, honestly, who else most likely going to be replaced? Of course will be content writing. Everyone who previously was ordered to write articles, maybe the people who are publishing these articles or putting the articles on the actual media. Let's say I want to have a front page of my business in Wall Street Journal. I no longer have to pay whatever amount it is for someone to write the article for me and then pay additional fee for the distribution. I may as well just pay somebody else, third party, completely summarized, very focused and niche down AI tool that has been fed the training data from the most successful engaging articles. So when you have, like I said, a personalized tool that is trained on the data that is very niched and the data that is only outperform all the metrics, you have essentially a very successful and highly objective product, which means that there's a very small chance for a flop on the particular output. This is what I see. If you want to go and try to replicate this, you need to start training your own models. You need to have separate accounts in different AI tools, and you have to start specializing them in particular niche. Let's say you have a tool only for medical thematic questions, content. It could be blog posts, it could be a site for some home remedies. You can have another tool that is only for like home workout or something. The idea is that you don't want to mix up. Today everyone is mixed up, all the questions, all the information, different inputs, different outputs. So your own personal chatbot has no core value attached to it because it has many parts of information, questions and answers, but essentially has no real deep understanding of any of it. You know that every single day 2,500 different businesses file for bankruptcy in the United States, and another 2,000 are started. Before the virus situation, every single year they had over 900,000 businesses simply file for bankruptcy. And in 2025, majority of the businesses which were closing were retail locations, and the number jumped from 2,500 a day to 15,000 a day. This is why selling cheap, and this is why doing business is noob as a brand new business owner, following the old way of doing business, it's usually not gonna get you successful. It will not differentiate your business or your product. Selling cheap creates this idea that everyone could be your client, but if everyone is your client, you don't really have the actual clientele profile. You want to know exactly niche down who is your client, how much money they're making, where they're living, what kind of brands they're wearing, right? It's like you trying to sell a person who is buying Loro Piana a Zara jacket. Do you understand how ridiculous this will look like? The person will not going to be even interested. Or you're trying to sell a person who only drives a European cars, Mercedes, BMW, Audis. You try to sell this person, let's say, a Honda Civic or Subaru, right? It's simply not gonna get the deal done. This is why you wanna niche down the profile of your clients. Reverse engineering. You're not starting from the business, product or service, or starting with the clients. Who you can actually serve the best, who you know the best. Let's say I work on Wall Street for 6 years. I know Wall Street communities, people, employees, different levels, hierarchy. I know exactly who is wearing what, representing what kind of jewelries, what kind of rings, what kind of watches, what kind of suits. I know absolutely everything, what kind of shoes. Every single item that these people are wearing or possess represents something. This is why your biggest leverage in the competitive market that is pretty saturated, it's always to, first of all, niche down, know exactly who is your client, who you're talking to. This will help you to know how to price your items. This will help you to craft and design the product or services. This will help you create a very effective marketing campaign. You know exactly who to hire to promote your product or service.